welcome to FIG Act 2. Call it what you want. I will be your host this evening. My name's Remi. I'm here with my man Tessa Boujet, and goes a little something like this. I want to be Scorsese, cleaning up like ShamWow by directing my shots, make the big picture pan out. So when they see God, the horn sound, flags flying, they cry out. And sicker than jaundice, Kingsmen.
My name is Remi. I'm 24 years of age, and I am now a professional rapper, I guess, because I don't have a job. So that's it. High school was very strange for me. I went to I was the only black kid in my high school until my little brother came. So I guess it wasn't really reality, I don't think, in a lot of ways. I guess I acted up a fair bit, that was about it, you know what I mean? I said, a lot of my friends kind of outside of school as well, I had two separate friends groups. My friends from my area weren't, they were far from rich. They would always act up because they didn't have money. They would do stupid shit, and I think that was my way of expressing myself, because I could see these young kids with heaps of angst inside of them, which I could definitely relate to, having that angst, not necessarily from poverty, but just from being an outsider, I guess, and that kind of leaked into school. Spent a lot of time in detention and stuff. But that was probably the only way. I didn't really have any didn't really do anything creative until maybe my last year of high school. I started doing visual communication, so just design stuff. And that was the first time that I kind of realized that your own creativity can kind of be an escape. So I just sit there and just draw pictures for ages. So yeah, I didn't really have any outlets until the end of school, and then rapping, that was about it.
My interstate family, they show their support by hitting the show with bags of Jordan, strawberry papers and stories about how they adore him, saying we don't even follow rap. Your flow is like the modern day Sistine Chapel, man. It's gorgeous how you do the only.
All my first dealings with racism and stuff were at high school and stuff, but when you're the only person of color in your friend group, or even in your year level, it's very hard to gauge how you should be hurting if someone says something racial to you. For example, the first time someone called me a coon, everybody, all the people around me were like, "Oh, that that's jacked up and stuff. You should get him." And I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "What's a coon?" Because all I heard was coon cheese. You know what I mean? And I was like, "Coon." And he's like, "What the fuck is a coon?" And he was like, "Oh, it's a racist term for black people." And I'm like, "It's a fucking stupid word, isn't it, man?" And even just moments like that.
Me and my friends know it's ridiculous, but if you watch prime time, you don't. So keep spitting that dragon flame. Promise me that.
I don't know. When I left school, I realized how big the world is, and I think that's the same for everybody. But for me, it was especially I could see that I hadn't been living in the real world for a long time. So I guess that's how it affected me. I think I also left with a lot of self-consciousness. I left with a lot of self-consciousness about what I should do, how I should be perceived, what I should do, for other people, and how I should be seen as other people. I can remember every single thing I was doing was how would my friends from school see this shit, and I knew the answer a lot of the time, so I would always hold myself back and wouldn't say stuff that was very personal or anything that was kind of inside of here. But as soon as I stopped giving them a fuck, that's when I found that the music started sounding better. I started having actual connections with people, and just realized that obviously the world is bigger than high school, so you can't be worried about that shit.
This game I got from my pops when he used to say, "You got the power, so use it. Nobody's got you but you." Psychedelic as some tie-dye worn by J.I.M.I. Hendrix. As I fly through space.
My relationship to my family, I think it's pretty strong. I love it. I've had a very small family. My little brother, my mom, my dad, and yeah, we're tight. I mean, everybody has problems with their family, so I know that they're super supportive. I'm very lucky on that sense. a lot of parents, if their son told them that they were going to quit uni to become a rapper, especially in Australia, they would think that their son is a crackhead. So I'm very lucky, especially my mom. When I first started, she just kind of realized that my passion for what I was doing was beyond anything I'd ever done before. So she was just like, this is what you want to do, you know, and if you're gonna, this is what you're gonna actually focus on, then do that shit. Whereas my pops, you know, he's coming from Nigeria, and it actually took me a while to realize this, but you know, like a lot of ethnic kids would be able to relate, is that their parents hard as shit on them when it comes to school, like, you know. But what we all forget, because we grew up in a Western culture where it's safe and we have everything that we could ever ask for, is that school is their way out, and they've worked so hard to give us options. It's pretty hard to see if you want to do something that's outside of a academic field, I guess. But as soon as things started to go, I guess, you know, well, he was just like, just be successful, you know, that's all he wants, you know what I mean? Because he doesn't want to leave this earth and see his son fucking up, basically.
From Nagas, me and my man Sensible J won a couple accolades to put on her cabinet. Therefore, if you're spitting gorgonzola, I will. Get in your business and foreclose, yeah, I will.
Honestly, I'm just here to make music, you know, like we only came here to ever do that, and talk about our experiences, you know. And I think that a lot of people, especially like mixed race and any ethnic kids, can kind of relate to a lot of the experiences that we have. And as soon as you start talking about that, people try and pigeonhole you for being like, I guess, a conscious rapper or a political rapper or something like that. But I just want to be a rapper for people. Show anybody that kind of feels like they're an outsider or like a little bit different, that you can do your own thing, you know what I mean? You have to write what's inside you, because that's what rap is. It's about being authentic. And if you're not being authentic, that will show in the music immediately. From like race to depression to drugs to politics to really anything in like a day in the life is what I try to express. Because I can't really write much outside of my experiences, and that's kind of my experiences is you know, what I've grown up doing, how I feel, and what's going on in my community. Like drugs exist everywhere, and depression exists everywhere, you know. You can be a billionaire and be depressed, and you can be broke as fucking happy. When it comes to drugs and depression, I guess I just want to create a very real vision of what the outcomes and what the dealings of that are. I also like to put, I guess, drug use in perspective. You can't tell anybody what they can or cannot do, but I don't ever want to kind of glorify something and make somebody do something that they're not ready for. Definitely like just being black and rapping. Especially in the like Australian hip hop scene, up until now there hasn't been many black figures in hip hop that have had as much press or as much exposure as what we've had. You know what I mean? And I know that just because of the amount of black kids that come up to me and will say what up and how much our music means to them, and that's something that really touched me, like deep. You know, because when you're growing up and you haven't been surrounded by black people, that's you know, that's half of what you are. When you're speaking to them and they've got the same struggles, not even just black, anybody of ethnicity, coming up to you and really feeling that. And I guess I just didn't want to let them down. I'm black, but I don't just have black people problems. You know, you know what I mean? Like, black people have black people problems. Black people also have human problems, because that's what we are. Like, at the end of the day, I'm just a 24-year-old kid who has no idea what he's really doing, and that's everybody. You know what I mean? Like, unless you really got your shit together, you always have that fear of the unknown, and especially when you're doing your own thing. You know, you have no idea. You got no one to tell you what to do. You got no one to tell you how to act or anything, because it's your journey. don't know if I am an adult. Damn, that's what defines an adult. I really don't know. Like, I really don't know, because there's so many exceptions to the rule. I can't say having your shit together, because I don't know many adults with their shit together. I think my personal definition of an adult to me is someone that uses and gives wisdom. To me, that's an adult. I would say Sensible J is an adult to the fullest. I have a lot of friends that are kind of like that as well. And you always have your shortcomings. Everybody has that. You know what I mean? You can't. No one's perfect. That's why you are perfect. But to me, that's what an adult is. I don't know if I'm that. I don't know if I'm that, but I guess as soon as I felt like more of an adult, as soon as I started doing music, just because of conversations I started having with people, whether it was to do with race, whether it was to do with music, whether it was to do with politics, like all that kind of stuff. To me, that starts sitting in an adult.
Come on, it's your world. Smoke up, come on, it's your world. Get down, it's your world. Just break on down, cause it's your world. I wanna see you, it's your world. Do what you wanna do, it's your world. I feel like I'm constantly an iPhone slow-mo, sitting in cafes with the rest of my dojo, talking about the funky fly shit we're trying to kick together.
I don't know if you heard of a rapper called Barrow. He's like my little brother. And I was in my room yesterday just making music. And I got a call from a random number. I picked it up. Like, who the fuck is this? And he was like, hey man, it's Barrow. Me and my homie Molly, who's like one of his really good friends, we're just calling to say how much we appreciate you and how much love we have for you. We're just calling all our favorite people and letting them know. And that shit blew my mind. If that's the youth of today, if that's even just a small portion, then we're in really good hands, you know. Is that, you know, because you can learn so much from cats that are older than you. Like I've always had that, because I've always been way younger than the people that I'm around. But I guess apart from my little brother, I don't really learn much from younger cats a lot of the time. But that was the first time where I was like, damn, like I need to sort my shit out, you know, because that was incredible. So I have so much faith in the future.